buy the land, they're going to do good. And eventually they'll move to Kenya and probably start a business and employ someone.
Yes.
So that's the end game for me, anyways. You were asking about land as well. And
yes.
That buying land in Kenya is sketchy. So listen, Kenya is actually not as bad as Ghana. It's not as bad. So I was watching YouTube again. Woody Meyer was interviewing this guy from Champs Media. I don't know if you know him.
Yeah, Champs,
yeah, Alex Chamwada.
Yeah, Chamwada, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. And he was interviewing someone from a company called AMG Realtors.
Yes, I remember.
And so I was like, wow, this company sounds legitimate. So I went online, I scoured the internet. I couldn't find anything bad about them. So I picked up the phone, and this is me back in Canada now after going to Kenya, getting depressed because I've left Kenya. And that's a real thing, by the way. People in the comments can tell you.
It happens to us when we come back.
Yeah, you get depressed. So me in my depression, I'm like, I have to establish some kind of tie with this country. I see the commercial for land selling in Kenya. I literally called up the company. I got a manager on the phone, and I said, I want to buy a piece of land. And I told my friends and family, I'm buying land from Kenya online. And everybody thought I was absolutely crazy.
Wow.
Even Kenyans there's a Facebook, a black expat Kenyan group. They told me, you're mad.
Yeah.
Buying land online.
Mm-hmm.
But I did my research, and I felt fairly confident that the company had been around for, I think at that point, 9 years. So I did it. And honestly, within 6 weeks, I got my title deeds shipped right here to Canada.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
And it was a very good experience. So, and now whenever anybody want land, I said, go buy from them. Nothing has broken yet. So.
Okay.
So are they giving you kidogo? I mean, kickback or?
No.
I'm just asking.
No, there's no kickback. This is the thing. I don't do things like that. Even when people from my YouTube channel, Afro Jamaican, and I tell my story, people write me and they'll say, "How did you do it?" And I'll tell them.
Yes.
And one person said to me, "How much do you charge?" And I go, "Charge for what?" For the information. I'm like, no. Why would I charge you? I'm giving you information. You're looking at the same thing I'm looking for. I'm not here to exploit anyone. And my thing is, all boats rise with the tide. So if I'm doing good,
yes,
then the person in Kenya is going to do good. This person's going to buy the land. They're going to do good. And eventually they'll move to Kenya and probably start a business and employ someone.
Yes.
So that's the end game for me anyways.
Excellent.
Okay.
Excellent. Good. I hope that some of our people who charge us for things they shouldn't charge us for are listening.
Now, you know, like sometimes you just have to take a leap of faith, and it's nice sometimes hearing from a perspective from someone who's an Kenyan, because we're also very critical and we are extreme.
Yes, as Kenyans. Ali, we are extreme.
Yes.
In fact, just like his experience with the land, like he said, he went through the process, picked the phone up and called and went through, did his due diligence in as much as he could do it.
Yeah.
Our own Kenyans, when you present them, in fact, you could even give them the title at that point and tell them, go do whatever research you need to do, call your lawyer, do your this, they'll still not purchase it.
I think the bad experiences loom large.
But this is someone who has never had a bad experience.
That's right. But I'm saying the fear of Kenyans, because he's not, Afro-Jamaican is not necessarily as plugged as to so many Kenyan WhatsApp groups, for example, like the way we are.
The horror stories.
So the horror stories and the bad experiences loom large, and it makes people have fear. So it's refreshing sometimes to hear from someone who just took a leap of faith, did not necessarily know anyone or know, like anything extra. It's important to know this. Now there's quite a number of comments coming here. Mike, just read a couple of the comments
Jackie
coming in.
Wanjiru says it's a hassle to buy land in KE, but if you use a company like Optiven, the process is easy and smooth. You probably use them because I purchased a couple of plots at the same place he did, and they were the ones selling them in that area. Kenya is still stuck in the colonial strategy of courting white tourists. This is coming from Washeke. She adds on, even the Kenyan diaspora is a big market, but no one has packages for us. Quite interesting.
Yeah, they don't know how to package
No,
to
they
us
don't.
in
No,
any
they
way.
don't.
Even the guys who come as diaspora reps for the banks, like
No,
the
they don't.
stuff
No.
they tell you, and you look
Yeah.
at this person like, "Are you?
Yeah.
What are you smoking?"
Yeah, so I think that's something that they need
So-
to learn. And also, Jackie is saying, this was another comment. He says Kenya is a joke. Wow, Kenyans were a bit harsh sometimes. I went and represented Kenya in Malaysia in 2018 at the Mrs. Tourism International pageant, and the Ministry of Kenya did not help support with a single dime. It would have been nice if they did, because that experience costed a pretty penny. Lakini they'll engage Naomi Campbell to rep the tourism industry so backwards. All right, so
Kaiser.
go ahead, Kaiser.
So interesting. When I was in Dominican Republic last week, and I met some people, and we're talking about Kenya. I'm like a salesperson for Kenya. So
love it.
the gentleman said to me, he goes, "Yeah, but have you seen the prices of Kenya? It's like $6,000." I'm like, "Where are you coming from?" "They're coming from France." I'm like, No. I go, "There is a national park in the city of Nairobi that you can get into for under $100. Like,
Correct.
come on, you can buy
Yeah.
a ticket, you can book an Airbnb. So they're not marketing Kenya properly, from what I can see.
No,
they're not.
No, the Kenya Tourism Board. In fact, they pick where they market. So I come from an island on Lake Victoria, and literally from and that's the ancestral home. So I was born in Nairobi. So, but from my ancestral home to park, it's about maybe 20 minutes. I'd say 20 to 25 minutes from my ancestral home is this park. And that park is home to the rarest antelopes in Africa. They do not market that park, period. In fact, I think even the guys in the studio, if I mention the park here, they'll be like, "Well, we may have heard of it, but we don't even know where it is." Because
Which is name the park?
the park is called Ruma.
I'm
Never
hearing
had-
about it for the first time.
Ruma National Park.
Is it near Mount Kenya?
No. This is
So it's not Aruma?
It's RUMA. It's in Nyanza, not far from. It's in Homa Bay County, and so you're pretty much on your way down to the lake, and you're going towards what's called Rusinga Island, Mbita. It's the lower, I guess, towards the lowest point of the lake, so to speak. But the reason why I say that is even the locals didn't tell me about it. I just happened to run into it. I think I had time during around that time, and I was like, you know what? I want to go. Go ahead. Mika.
Most of the tourism in Kenya is actually advertised by the individual hotel and resorts and the safari camps that are there. It's not done by the way the government. Or you'll find like Utah will advertise the parks in
Yes.
Utah, everything that Utah has. It's not anything government done. So that is where you find most of these things actually are not that visible. You find out that people will be like, "Wait, this is in Kenya? This happens in Kenya?" Because that's the price. Like if you went, people don't know something like Simba Hills National Park exists. It's a very famous old national park that has been there. Zima Springs is a national park
Yes.
that's there. Most people don't know. People just know Masai Mara. People know Savo East, Savo West, and probably the Abadeas and Amboseli. Even Abadeas, most people don't know there's a national park. They just know there's a forest there.
Okay.
So it comes to when, as Afro-Jamaicans say, when you're marketing it as a tourist destination, you just don't. Again, it goes back to what? Aiming for the top dollar tourist, aiming for the creme tourists. You're assuming that those are the ones who are going to spend more money. If you can be able to market it as a way whereby, and Kenya is a very self-sufficient country. It's just like coming here. You can come and plan a visit in America
Yes.
without spending a lot of
Correct.
money and
Yes.
be able to visit different states and stay and live. It's the same way with Kenya. There's temporary accommodations everywhere. There are places to go, and you can move within the country and actually communicate and be in communication with the rest of the world nearly from anywhere in that country. That is how they're supposed to market that country.
Kenya
They
Tourism
marketed
Board.
They marketed in the 1952 marketing that was supposed to be marketed to the lords and ladies of England to come.
Kenya Tourism Board, I
There's no
hope you're
improvement
tuned
in
in.
it.
Yeah, I hope Kenya Tourism Board is tuned in because, that's something that needs to be overhauled.